Hello, I'm Bentham. Today we're going to play some Factorio. So as you are probably able to see, the game is not being played at normal speed, or possibly I'm amazing at this game. It's being played at 4 times speed, and I'm giving you some post-commentary. I'm going to try this out, see if it works. It might not work. Hopefully it'll work, because if it doesn't, I will have to re-record the episode, and it's supposed to be out in an hour, so yeah. So as you can see, I'm setting up some mining and some smelting on the iron deposit that was nearby, and then I'm just running around gathering materials so that I can first of all fuel it with some coal and then build more stuff with the stone and also the iron that it produces. So I've built myself some mining drills and I'm sticking those down on the stone and the coal sources. I don't need copper quite yet, but it'll come in soon enough. So I'm now using the coal miner to gather a lot of coal together, and I can use the coal it mines to fuel itself and everything else at the same time. At the beginning you do get quite a bit of, well, you don't have very much coal to work with unless you set up a ridiculous amount of stuff, so you do have to run around delivering coal to things quite a lot. I'm just running around delivering enough to keep them going for a few seconds before I run over and grab some more. So let's see, I've got all that set up. Did I put something on the coal, on the copper even? I have now, there we go. That's the thing, with it going at 4 times speed, it's a little bit difficult to keep up with exactly what's going on. I did a sort of practice run where I just pretended I don't know. I did a practice run, and it was a bit difficult keeping track of everything. So you can see I was looking at the map there, just checking the lay of the land, and there's a worrying lack of iron around, while there is a ridiculous abundance of coal. The thing is, I don't use coal as much as the average person. I think I like to do lots of solar power and stuff like that, but whatever. So I'm running around ferrying coal between everywhere and gathering up a bit of stuff. So now I'm going to start my power grid up. So I'm getting some pipes and boilers and a big old steam engine. And at the moment there's nothing actually, there's no electrical stuff around to power, but that'll be fixed in a moment because I've used what I can find in this barren wasteland to build some electric poles. I just need to grab a bit of iron, build some inserters, and then I'm going to set up some inserters here and then work out where to put that. We'll put it there, and then we can use the steam engine to power the inserters, which will fill up the boilers with coal to power the steam engine. It's a brilliant cycle that sounds like it shouldn't work because it's something powering itself, but it does because coal is involved, and when you involve coal, anything is possible. Well, just the generation of power is possible, I suppose. But I'm setting up, seeing as I do still need as much coal as possible, I don't want the conveyor belt to back up with coal, so I've got an inserter taking the coal off the end of the conveyor belt and sticking it into a chest. So I'm just running around and refilling everything once again. This will happen many times. And then I'm just grabbing the iron as it comes out because I need it to make something, I believe. Yeah, I'm making an electric mining drill now. So I'm going to stick that there, power that with the steam engine, and then I'm going to have it so that that's supplying all the coal at twice the previous rate, or something along those lines. And then once again ferrying the coal around everywhere, which is what the beginning of a game of Factorio often is. Though I've been using, well, as you'll see, I've used a lot less automation with coal than is possible, because you can have it so that all the coal can get automatically fed into all the smelters, but because of the awkwardness of its positioning, I just kind of couldn't be bothered. So here I'm setting up some more mining stuff. I've now got an electric mining drill and 2 burner mining drills, feeding all together and getting that furnace out the way. And then I will build, well, I'll use the same furnace, I'll stick it down there, and then we can have multiple mining drills feeding multiple furnaces, which will help our iron production, because iron is the most important material by far, and you need a lot of production for it. So as you'll come to see, I've spent the entirety of this episode with an iron shortage that just gets worse and worse no matter what I do. So you can see I'm setting up 2 furnaces now, and then I'm using the iron to build some conveyor belts so I can feed all of the iron from the furnaces into somewhere. So I'm putting them all in a chest for now, so I can just run over to that chest and grab it all. So there's the system in operation. There were a couple of times where I just stand still somewhere so you can see what's going on. So running around again, grabbing coal, putting coal in everything. It's getting to a point where I can fill up all of the equipment with coal now, so I don't have to refill it every 2 minutes. Checking the power system there. At the moment there's a huge amount of redundancy. The steam engine can produce a ton of power, and we're using a tiny amount for the inserters and a couple of electric mining drills. Eventually, well, now here we put a lab in, so that'll definitely cause some problems. So I don't know if it will actually. How much do labs use? I don't know. So I'm just manually building some science packs so that I can get the first bit of science done, which is automation. And then once I've got that done, I'll be able to make the science packs automatically. I'm just running around grabbing materials, ferrying coal everywhere as usual. And yeah, just constantly using all of the iron that we have available. There's a look at the base. Just so you can see how things are going. We're mining iron, copper and coal, and then we've got a little system that's mining stone when I can be bothered to actually power it. So we're upgrading the copper mine to electrical stuff, so now it will be better. Thing is, the furnace that we're using there cooks things at half the speed that the electric mining drill churns them out, so half the time the thing is now off. You saw me running over to grab some wood there. There really is a big wood shortage here. It's kind of worrying because I like to build my stuff like with a bunch of trees in between me and the aliens, because if you don't, then the pollution gets to them. If you have a ton of trees, then they'll absorb all the pollution and it's fine. I like to have a low carbon footprint and just not bother the aliens in the first place, rather than having to constantly defend against their attacks. As you probably saw in the video of my base I did whenever it was. So you can see I've set up some chests there to put coal and copper in, iron and copper in. I'm trying to keep up with everything here. It's going at 4 times speed, but I don't want to do it at less than that, because the series will take multiple years if that's the case. So the reason I put that stuff there is I want to have a sort of a point that all iron that is produced goes to, and that all iron that is consumed goes from, because previously I had it become a bit of a mess. So there was just stuff everywhere, and it was difficult to keep track of things, and what ended up happening was the final storage point involved the coal going in like a ridiculous spaghetti junction style journey, in which it was siphoned off at various different points, and it was just horrible. So you can see here I'm setting up some science pack production. Nice and simple at this stage. You just need to turn some iron into gears and then use some iron and some copper to make the science packs. So now I'm just setting up some conveyor belts for the science packs to go onto. I was a bit indecisive about where to put these, because I plan to have this as a long-term installation. At some point I'll have trains unloading into those 2 crates or whatever, or there might be multiple crates by then. So you can see I've got the conveyor belts up and running with the science packs going along them. So I've built another lab and then stuck an inserter on to power it. Well, not to power it, to fill it up with science, and then I'm going to run over here and take down that lab and then put supplies for that as well. The thing is, the current production of science packs is only really enough to feed 1 lab, so after looking at things for a second, well, or maybe not, I go off and do somewhere else. I can't remember what I did and what order it was, damn it. At some point I worked out that the lab wasn't really getting power that much, so I built another assembler. Oh, and there goes the first bit of science. Oh, by the way, I can't hear the sound while I'm recording this narration, so occasionally you will just hear the sudden diddle-dins or whatever it is of the science stuff, and I won't, because it's all silent to me. It's just me and my voice. So I've got 2 science pack producing assemblers going there now, and after checking the power supply I realised I needed another steam engine, so I went and stuck that steam engine on. And now I've got tons of coal. It's finally started to build up, so I can fully top out all of the coal-fired equipment, and just leave it to do its stuff. So I'm just currently I'm researching steel processing, and now that's done. So next I pick, what do I pick? I pick electronics. I put a lot of thought into the things I research, because the thing is, if you don't keep the research going on interesting things, it'll get to a point where you just stood around waiting for the next thing to be researched so you can actually do something. Like if you're just researching stuff that makes your guns fire faster, before like you research oil processing and things like that, you'll be stood around waiting to have better guns when you could be wandering around building up your production of oil and things. So I've just electrified the production of, well, the mining of stone. Science packs are starting to build up now, and looking at the power supply, while it is very variable, the steam engines do seem to be dealing with it pretty well. So I'm running around and I don't know, and now we do some steel production, so I get myself a new furnace and have the iron being siphoned off from that chest into it. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have done that because iron shortage and all that, but I did it anyway. Steel is useful for things, so yeah. Later on you need it for the production of armor penetrating ammo, which eventually you want to have as the only ammo you use. So now I'm researching automation too, which will help with automation, as you may have guessed. And then what am I doing? Oh, I had a bit of lag there, I think. I don't know. I built another lab. Oh, I didn't have lag, I was just building a lab and it took ages. Okay, so built another lab onto things because it seems that the system can support that. And now I build a radar, which immediately saps a huge amount of power, so I realize I need to get a boiler and get it being fed by an inserter, but unfortunately there is no iron. It's ridiculous. What I ended up doing while I was there was turning the inserter arms into fast inserter arms, because I noticed that they weren't quite dealing with the flow of iron, even though the flow of iron is nowhere near enough. So eventually I get the iron to build a new inserter, and then I can get 3 boilers working. So you can see there's massive amounts of pollution there. The pollution fills the entire map, including where that alien base is. But anyway, now I've put that 3rd boiler in, it means that the temperature in the 2 current steam engines will stay at 100 degrees, because once the power system gets taxed, the steam engine's temperature can drop if you don't have enough boilers working. So now I work on trying to get some iron so I can build a steam engine, and it's a bit fiddly because problems. But checking the power supply, I noticed, oh, I did it. When did I do it? I can't even keep track. It took me a while to build the steam engine, that was the point. And now there's a lot more capacity in the power system, and everything is running at full speed again. From that split-second check, I kept trying to like look at things longer than I would normally so that you could see this at ×4 speed, but I did mess it up a little bit. So I'm there getting some research. I'm doing armor crafting now, and at some point that I've managed to miss, so there I am setting up a 4th furnace just to keep everything going. I believe I missed it, but at one point I tried to research better material processing or something like that. They basically the better furnaces, but I realized they needed green science packs and changed it. You may have noticed that, I don't know. Those who are observant of you. So now I run around grabbing every little tree I can find because I'm fed up of not having enough wood for everything. And I need plenty of wood, because what I'm going to do is run down here to this one other iron deposit that I've found, and then connect this up to my power supply, which will take quite a bit. You can hear all sorts of noises at this point of me placing things, and then things saying that they've been placed wrong. And then the aliens attack, so I'm just going to run over here, shoot the crap out of them. That was quick. Well, it was quick for you. For me, it was quite tense. I mean, it was still quick because the small biters easy to deal with. They didn't damage too much, just a furnace and a couple of bits of conveyor belts. But I decided that this is a problem, and I'm building myself some turrets and some ammo. Unfortunately, of course, all of this stuff requires iron, and I've still got a big iron shortage, so I'm having a bit of trouble properly supplying things. So, for example, at the moment I had 5 clips of ammo on me. I've got it up to 8, but that's it so far. Well, coming towards the end now, the last thing I do is try and get enough iron for some conveyor belts, see if I can deliver the iron from that mine up to the base. But the amount of iron required is a bit horrible. It's a bit of a problem, really, a kind of catch-22. You need a bunch of iron to increase your iron supply, but you have an iron shortage, which is why you're trying to increase the iron supply. I kind of did that the reverse of what would make sense. Like, you need iron, but in order to build, like, you've got an iron shortage. In order to build more iron production, you need a ton of iron. That's the problem that we have. So hopefully we can keep iron production up enough that I can build things. What I'd go and do is grab all the iron off the production line just to try and get enough, and it still isn't enough. But But anyway, we're coming up to the end now. So we will see what happens in the next episode. I'll give you a little view of the base before the end. And there it is. Okay, so I shall see you in the next episode. Goodbye!